You know, I kept saying, I think people have moved on from putting the Nairobian inside the Standard and then read it, you know, at this angle. This time, we're reading it very boldly and saying, look, yeah, these are the stories that are making
it's the same culture of what you're saying. Kenyans, we are very reserved people, or we pretend to be very reserved people.
Conservative.
Conservative people. Yeah. It's the way culture has been. But there we are, Nairobian, very bold, and just say things as they are. I mean, yes, solo.
There you go.
The big story here, Wambui Shebesh, and saying she's here to stay. I don't know. The Nairobi women rep opens up on brawls with Sonko, fight with Kidero, damning allegations on her character and why her husband is God sent. God sent. Why is that in quotes?
God sent.
You can't just be God sent without any quotes in there.
God sent.
Probably we don't think about it that way. No.
Now it's you thinking. She just said it. So we're quoting her.
We're quoting her.
Like you're behaving like you know her husband. Better than that. But then she talks about an entire old issue at a time when everybody was saying every manner of thing about her and other people, you know, and try to demonize her for that matter on who she is and stuff.
And you need to know that this is the first time she's speaking after all this controversial story, from the time she got slapped to the other confrontation with Sonko. And now she opens up about what is happening in her life, what's going on, and I think why she says the husband is godsend is because he's been with her through all this, even after the selfies.
She says he's an angel. I have the best husband on earth. In Parliament, I work with male colleagues, and that's why I'm tough. But in my home, I'm treated like a queen.
And you know that happens because now she's in the public, and our work is in the public. I mean, she's a politician, and you expect everybody to be tracking every manner of thing that happens to you, and every, like she says, blogs are written about me, people are chasing me and asking me about Sonko and all that. Sometimes really, and I like what she says in the story, it's not for me to answer all those guys. I'm not liable really to answer to you. You can pick what you want, you can leave what you want, but I'm a family woman when I'm back at home. And I know women in Kenya would have probably a lot of argument around this story the whole day on what she says.
But I just love that she can split the two, you know. She can be famous for all the wrong reasons, but at the end of the day, she doesn't want to involve, you know, her family.
Too much of her family.
Exactly.
She's really managed to keep them off the spotlight. She's really managed to keep them off the spotlight.
But again, how do you try it? How do you keep this from public when everybody's talking and you have a family and all that? I think it's a bit tricky when you have to wear different faces at different times and make people understand. This is me at home and this is me at work. This is me solo hanging out and this is me solo just laid back with my family members. And I think being public limelight is just a tricky business, and she just, great story by David there, breaking it down and try to say this is why you should understand me.
And she's probably one of the most famous female politicians.
She has to be. She has to be one of
You think she's going places? Because she says I'm here to stay.
Come on, what are you saying going places? She's already gone places.
She's dying bigger places.
But I think she needs to work a little bit on her PR, although I mean, don't go taking selfies, please.
Oh, she does that?
If Obama is taking selfies and everybody's taking selfies, I mean, it's just
a normal
at least not in bed. Not in bed. All right, no selfies in bed.
She's asked about that and she says, well, I cannot speak about the photos when they are real or not. So that is closed right there.
All right. So usually the line is sex or gold. But it seems that it's a different story in Migori, where this time it's gold for sex.
All right. And you know, in Migori they mine gold there, and it's presumed that these miners make a lot of money, up to close to 10,000 shillings in a day. Sometimes they might go without anything, but on a good day they can make up to 10,000. Which means in a week they can make close to 70,000.
I'm in the wrong career,
right? which is not a bad thing when you're living in Migori. Okay.
Whoa,
but
that little town, all that shaggy bad roads kind of town, a guy is making 10,000.
10,000.
And I love
a day.
I love how Peter starts the whole story. It's money come, money go for residents of Nyatike in Migori, who ironically live in extreme poverty and on the first lane despite sitting on one of the country's largest gold deposits. Well, it's on a good day one can make, well, like you said, said 10K in a week. That goes up to, I think 10,000 is the least.
Yes.
but bring out the story.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is.
But now the money as it
goes somewhere.
Comes, it also leaves very, very easily.
Where does it go? You're not telling us.
Well, they're saying that these guys are heavy spenders on alcohol.
Yep.
Wow.
And also very generous when it comes to spending on women for sexual favors. And they say that women in Migori can charge up to 20,000 shillings per night.
And then they even go on to say that if the girl is new, the patrons are known to pay really well.
This is fresh meat, no?
Fresh catch,
like fresher,
like the new flame in town.
It can go as high as 30,000.
They can go as high as 30,000.
I thought this was a quiet town.
Well, it looks like people talk a lot in the bedroom. So it should be a quiet town.
In the bedroom, I don't think in the bedroom, but it's somewhere in the lodging, so the back of the bar, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, these are funny trends. We were talking about last time when was fish is gold.
Yeah. It's also been known for guys to exchange sex for fish.
For fish.
In fact, the most popular fishermen are the ones who come with a big catch, and the ladies, they don't look at the wallet; they look at your fishing net.
Wow.
Well.
And we have these NGOs who are coming down saying, no, women, you can also catch fish and not catch them in.
It's an incredible story by Peter Orengo. I think people should grab the Nairobian to see the whole insight about what's happening in Migori.
Right. A very great read there. And page 6 as well has got an interesting one there. Jubilee Project poster worries Semelango.
Yes. He's the former Youth Enterprise Fund chairman. Who was fired few months back.
He went into politics,
and then immediately he decided to vest his interest in running for the by-election in Mathare. Then and he says, he was supposed to go to the tribunal earlier this week, and they barred him from vying because they said if you're a government officer, then you should have resigned 7 months before an election.
Logistics.
So if you're interested in politics, then you have at least 7 months to resign. But so they blocked him, and he's gone to court, and he's challenging this, saying that he was not. He did not resign. He was fired.
Oh.
He didn't resign, and he was fired.
He was fired. So he became jobless. Right, so he's going now to
challenge the law on matters of law and stuff.
Yes, so he says when he was in office, he was not interested in the seat.
Those are the underhand dealings he was talking about.
Yeah,
because he talked about so many things of witch hunt and stuff.
Yeah,
but there is, and let's see how the story unfolds.
Yes,
with time.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
And there's also another one that I did see here on page 10 about the Rastafarian who is fighting to make weed legal.
I know this is the one you're waiting for, Joy.
This Rastafarians in studio today.
I want you to talk about
Rastafarians.
But I'm asking, is it a big deal? Is it not a big deal? Should we talk about this? Should we not talk about this? I know in Uganda they allow you to grow weed.
Come on. No. It's not legal. It's not legal.
It's a plant. They say it's a plant that grows like flowers.
It's okay.
Okay, we're not as good as the Jamaicans would be, where they say, this plant here is good for meditation.
Yeah.
But in Uganda,
for meditation.
Yes, a lot of people will do weed secretly in their shambas. If the police come, they'll cut it down, and then it will grow again. Yeah. There's always a way in which you can.
We are talking about guys like Mr. President.
Yes, like Bobby Wine. Guys like Radio and Weasel.
I'm told they even have parties for stuff, like all night.
But now a university graduate has filed a petition in court saying that weed consumption should actually be allowed.
It's medicine.
And Nairobians and Kenyans should get into growing weed because it has
various industrial uses.
Yes. So Kevin Mushemi, who's an agriculture and horticultural sciences major from Moi University. So I understand what he's talking about. I think
he's talking from a very educated.
Yes, he's saying that this can be used to produce high quality paper and fiber. And he says actually it offers the best solution to achieving the minimum of 10% tree cover that Kenya so much aspires to have by replacing trees used in the paper industry.
I know there's so many people who are going to be loving Kevin Mushemi today.
Kevin, now we should be asking him, has he tried this? Maybe he's tried it.
Because we're not saying anything about it. We're not saying anything about it, but Kevin Mushemi must have a lot of secrets.
You remember the story that Karen Derry did,
yes,
where they were smoking weed on television?
The Nyeri Rastafarians,
and they were reciting biblical verses.
Yeah, it was under the same guys pictured here. You know, they were smoking by the riverside in Nyeri, and they said they should
by the riverside.
They were all arrested on that day.
So I know you're watching. You're liking what this guy is doing, but careful. This is illegal, guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And
as in the now.
There's the in-depth as well. It's so interesting that Nairobians lose 5 million shillings to pickpockets.
Yeah.
And this is very serious.
Yeah.
A lot of pickpockets. I thought they had come down.
No. It's a disease.
Yeah.
That's why they always say that there's a university for pickpockets, because pickpockets are so good at what they do. They will first of all steal from you without you recognizing or realizing. Okay. And you know, this one is not only in terms of cash. You know, we're talking about even mobile phones, talking about other valuables. And pickpockets are said to even know how much, estimate how much you have in your pocket when they look at you.
They say they can smell 1,000 shillings note in your pocket.
Yeah, or several thousand.
And even know where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Yes. That's what they say. They would know, oh, that's a fresh note from the bank. These guys carry money. Yeah. Why are they picking on Solo and not me? Because I have no money. I mean, it's a very sophisticated kind of business.
And there's a confession from Master Thief who said he once pinched 500,000 from someone. Yeah. So I think people should grab the Nairobian to see what's happening to Nairobians and how we are losing 5 million shillings every day. Every day.
I'm telling you, there's a whole
big industry.
There's a whole lot way in which people are losing money in this country, including sticking in traffic for I do not know how many hours.
Good.
And of course, there's Tony Mochama, who is there writing from Munich.
He's back. This guy is back though. But he's talking about Munich and all that was happening.
Yeah, so he's giving all when he was in the Bavarian town. So he's saying he's one of the dark attractions there, gets at least 1 million visitors a year. So he's it's a letter from Munich with Tony, who is now back.
Who's now back? Yeah. I believe he's in the office today, and if he's watching us from somewhere, come on, you guys, bring the goodies. Stop hiding. We know you
all
made
these guys who went to Brazil, you know, to cover the World Cup.
He came back with a beer belly. Took a lot of keg.
That's Germany.
Yeah,
he said things were happening. I'm told they even have muturas there. Yeah. So probably was just having his good life as usual.
Invading his privacy. Edith Kimani as well has written something there, and you can read about that. And Silas Nyanchwani.
Great columnist, great people in Nairobi. And not just forgetting page 23, where we have Kate Muke and the little hater gossip. And she's talking about this incident that we wrote about some times ago, where a guy was shown the gun and hit with a gun, and now somebody's blaming somebody.
Yeah, that was DJ Stone.
We have DJ Stone right there and Prezo, and says, I'm leaving this guy.
God will deal with him.
Yeah.
God will deal with him.
He said that they beat him over 5,000 shillings debt.
Okay. Which was cleared by Jaguar. How is that even possible?
Jaguar clears everybody.
It clears everyone's...
If you have a bill, you just need to talk
pay to his
consulate. Like Jaguar, I'm just paying house rent. My landlord has had, so come in here, rent.
So DJ
sort me out.
He's a cash cow.
No, he's just a good guy, and I think it just arises to the occasion. One, if Jaguar will do every good thing for everybody, and now I know he's taking care of kids who are in issues or having issues with health and their parents. But again, it's very good publicity even for a guy who is making good music and making money. I think he's balancing the whole thing. I am a celebrity, but at the same time, I have a very good human heart. End of the day.
So the medical bill that was over 100,000 shillings was cleared by Jaguar. After that incident.
Down there, I think devolution comes with both the good, the bad, and the ugly. But this time, I think it's the good. And Miss Kenya County editions are kicking off. Kenya's most coveted and premier beauty pageant, Miss Kenya 2014, is underway. So is it going to go all across the 47 counties?
Yes, it's going to be.
I'd like to see who is going to come out of Turkana, by the way.
Turkana is another gold mine for more hotels and all that. The current Miss Kenya actually is from down towards coast, Taita Taveta.
Yes.
Right now. And then they're saying this weekend, tomorrow actually, Miss Kenya is happening in Kilifi.
Yeah.
And it's what Solo was asking. Are you going down to Kilifi or are you in Nairobi or what's happening? But I think it's a very good initiative. I know the likes of Kingi and Wilson Malaba and the rest are already gone down to Kilifi
They'll be down
to
there.
get this done.
So it's no surprise if we decide to.
The capital feature. The man and his drink, they say the drink you hold in your hand betrays the type of man you are, and ladies can smell your uncouth, pretentious and refined mannerism miles away. And so the Nairobian is breaking the cord that binds a man to his drink. So what does the drink say, really?
Okay.
Well, this is a very nice breakdown by Kate Mukay. You remember a couple of weeks back we had the woman and the drink.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're coming to what does a man drink. When you look at a man and the drink that he's consuming, what does that tell you about him? You know, when you see a man holding a glass of wine, what does that tell you about him? When you see him taking cheap liquor, if he is a whiskey guy,
and we saw over that phase where, you know, drinks have to define what kind of person.
Drinks?
Well, if phones are, I think even drinks should.
Phones define who you are. Sometimes,
and that's,
I don't agree.
It's something maybe we cannot. Maybe it's overrated
it's like
in society.
It's like saying, you know, when I walk into a club and this guy is clad in a suit, then, you know, there's something about him that is so classy, and he just might not be classy despite the fact that he's wearing a jacket and these very fine pants.
Fake it till you make it.
That's
where it begins.
So I mean, you have this good suit, and then probably you're having the wrong drink as expected, or
and there's someone out there clad in jeans and, you know,
and just having the
but I mean, having a drink in the club nowadays has been a statement. You know, it's always like it's a show off nowadays.
Right.
What are you having on your table? And people might decide to respect you more.
Another big borrow from Uganda, because this is where we would go and find guys that they don't just drink the brown bottle. They get a good piece of bottle, or just put their 20,000 bottle there and just make a statement, have a little drink, and just, well, it's time to go home. And you're just thinking, oh, that guy just banned all that now. I think that's another statement.
Steve, it depends on the club you go to in Uganda.
Okay, but I think if this was a Ugandan edition, they would have talked about the straw you use to sip your beer. Right?
Actually, in Uganda, using a straw is not, it's not news. It's not news anymore. You either use it or you don't use it. And
so there's no glass talk.
And if using a straw actually makes you less high, go ahead and use it, because they say when you take beer by the bottle, you get high faster. So there you go. We are out of time.
Well,
someone is telling me I'm the expert. I'm not the expert, but